Assalamualaikum and welcome back to another video by Sir Shazwan. Today we'll be looking at Monroe's motivated sequence, which is part of persuasive speech. So we'll be looking at several things which made up this concept and what is it about. Okay, so the content for this is we'll be looking at what is persuasion, and as well as we look at Monroe's motivated sequence, what is it about, what it is made of, and how it is used. And then we'll be having some sample of a persuasive speech using Monroe's motivated sequence. So without further ado, let's move into the lecture. Right, persuasion. What is persuasion? Persuasion is a process of creating, reinforcing, or changing people's beliefs or actions. So remember that everyone have their own understanding, they have their own beliefs, and they have their own preference. So persuasion is the act of you want to change their beliefs into something different, or maybe you want to follow your own beliefs. So that is how you persuade. That is why you persuade. So like an example in the picture given. I've hired this musician to play a sad melody while I give you a sob story why I didn't do my homework. It was actually effective. So the aim here is that the person want to persuade the teacher or the person in front of them to believe that whatever he said is the truth, and they want to try to influence them. So that is persuasion. Then we move into persuasive speech. Okay, there are several types of persuasive speech. For example, we have a questions of fact, question of value, and questions of policy, which have been addressed in the previous video. So make sure you look at that. Alright. So for this one, we'll be looking at mostly on questions of policy, which is used mainly for your ELC590 persuasive presentation. Okay, persuasive speech. Right, so you must remember that there are several ways to organize speeches on questions of policy. The first one is problem solution. Second one, problem cause solution. The third one, comparative advantages. And last one, Monroe's motivated sequence. For this course, we'll be focusing more on Monroe's motivated sequence. The rest can be discovered on your own or in the next videos. Alright. Now, Monroe's motivated sequence. It is developed in 1930s by Alan Monroe. So that is where the Monroe motivated sequence name is from. During his tenure as professor of speech at Purdue University, USA. So it is tailor-made for policy speeches that seek immediate action, meaning that this form of speech that is formulated based on Monroe's motivated sequence, you want the listener to take action after you have given your speech. So that is why it is considered policy speeches that seek immediate action. So you must remember that this sequence, the Monroe's motivated sequence, they have 5 steps associated with psychology of persuasion. So what are the 5 steps? We look at ANSVA, or ANSVA, or any kind of words that you want to say. Remember, each one is an acronym for something. So we have the first one, attention, which is gaining the audience attention. Okay. Second one, need. You want to show the need for change. Why we need to change from A to B. Why do we want to persuade them to do something else? So that is the need there. Then satisfaction. You provide the solution. Visualization. You enhance the solution by visualizing benefits. And last one, action. You urge action for solution. So we'll be looking at each step deeply. Okay, so let's look at it. What are the 5 steps that are in the motivated sequence or ANSVA? First, you've got to get the audience attention. This is very important because if you don't have a good opening, you don't have a good introduction, so the audience won't feel attracted to your presentation. does, they won't pay attention to you, which defeats the purpose of having the persuasive speech at all. So the first things first, you need to get this audience attention. Right. Then after you get the audience attention, you need to describe to your audience the problem a problem to show that there is a need for change. There is an in ANSVA. So you need to show why they need to change, because you are persuading someone to change from A to B. So you need to show why they need to change. So there is a need there. Okay. Third one, you need to solve the problem so that the satisfaction fills the reasoning and emotional minds of your audience, meaning that you have to provide the solution to the problem that you have introduced in the need stage. Means that the solution here should be satisfactory. It means that whatever problems that happens that you have described before, so whatever the solution, the problems that you have provided before, the solution should be able to solve it, so that it will satisfy what the audience thinking about. Because sometimes they might think that, oh, there is a problem, can this really be solved? So you need to show that you have the necessary details that they can trust and believe in you. Okay. The fourth step, which is a visualization. The audience must see and feel what the future will bring them by taking or not taking action on the speaker's solution to the need or problem presented. Okay. It means that you need to give them an image of what happens if they took action and if they don't take action. For example, maybe our topic will talk about why we should not throw out why we should not do open burning. So it means that you need to show, okay, how to solve this. The need is here. The need stage for this topic is you need to stop open burning. Why? You provide some reasons, you describe the problems here and there, and then you provide a solution. Maybe provide more places for people to throw their rubbish, or any kind of solution that you can think. And then in the fourth stage, visualization, you are trying to give them the possibility that will happen if they they follow the solution, and if they don't follow the solution. Maybe you can describe that if they follow the solution that you have provided, there won't be more open burning, and then the atmosphere will become better, something like that. And maybe you can talk about if they don't take action, they don't follow the solution, open burning will become even more in the future, and then the atmosphere will be thinner, and then the environment will be hotter, and then all those kinds of negative things that will happen. Okay, so that is how you give the visualization to the audience. And the fifth one, which is action, must be requested with an air of immediacy by the speaker. It means that you need to show urgency. You need to show that it is important for everyone to be part of this so that they can solve the problem as soon as you can. Okay? So that is the important thing. Okay? So this is a more in-depth explanation of each step. Okay? So your first thing, you need to get the attention. Okay? So you must first remember, always greet the audience, because here are the ones who will listen to you. So it must be you must greet the audience, because it's just good manners. Okay? If you cannot suddenly you just go and then start and try to convince others before you greet the audience. Okay? And then second one, you can gain rapid or endear yourself to the audience, or use a testigator by. These are some of the testigators. You can make a startling statement. You can tell a humorous or dramatic story. You can ask a rhetorical question, visual aids, create suspense or arousing curiosity, and then using a topic relevant paraphrase or quotation. So you need to gain their attention, hook them into listening to you rather than they do something else while you are speaking, because you want them to be convinced of what you are saying. Alright, so this is a continuation. You introduce the topic of your speech. Okay, provide the topic of what you are trying to deliver to them today. You want to talk about why people should not use mobile phones too much. Okay, so you need to introduce it in a way that they will be paying attention to you, because this is getting the attention part. Fourth, establish your credibility, which is example the audience perception of your competence and character. You need to show that you are a professional, you have done your study, you have done your research. So that is establishing your credibility. People will look at you and judge you based on how detailed you are, how clear you are, and how prepared you are. If you don't have the credibility, they won't even trust you. Okay? So some of the way you can establish your credibility is by mentioning the research or homework done in preparation of your speech. You can mention your personal experience related to the speech topic, and you can mention your qualifications which is related to your speech topic. That is one of the way. Okay? Last, you introduce the central idea, which is a one sentence that previews the entire speech. Okay, so what are you going to address? That will be the central idea. Okay, let's move into the next step. So use audience-centered supporting material showing that the status quo needs to be changed using a concise, clear description of a serious problem that affects them by. You need to use a credible testimony. Use quotation, paraphrasing, or authentic relevant stories. You can use at least 2 examples illustrating the need or problem from a personal experience or reference, or use of a simplified relevant statistic. So you need to show this current situation that happens, okay, why they need to be a change. You provide using quotations, using research articles that you have found that talks about the topic, but what is happening. So you need to convince them why they need to change. The status quo should be moving from A to B. So you need to describe the problem. You clearly and concise directly about the problem without going away or beating around the bush or something like that. Okay, and then we move into the satisfaction step. Okay, so you have aroused your audience sense of need for a solution to the problem. So you need to satisfy it. They want the solution, you provide it. So you present a plan or solution by telling audience briefly the changes or actions that you want to be adopted. Maybe you want to introduce a new plan, you want to introduce a campaign, you want to introduce a policy. That is where you present it to the audience. And then you explain logically how the plan will work to satisfy the need problem. Because this one is supposed to solve the problem that you have introduced in the need step. So you need to provide something that is clear and they can see how it works. Okay, whatever you want to sell it to them, to pitch to them, you need to provide something that is logical. Okay, so you can help the audience see your plan or solution by showing specific examples of how your plan has worked well as well. Maybe if you have done research somewhere, or maybe there are some people who have done this and you want to apply it here, then you can provide specific examples. You show how the plan is practical and workable for your audience. That is one way. And then try to appeal to your auditor's sense of pride, fears, health needs, security, and happiness by using facts and authoritative testimonies. Usually diagrams and charts can help you. You provide them with charts, or maybe like people suffering from health condition or breathing problems which is caused by the open burning. That is one way, okay? Because you want to show them there is a need for the problem to be solved. You want to show people have things to fear. So that is, you need to see your plan, okay? And then you provide the solution, which is possibly where how can they see the solution help reduce the problem, okay? And then we have the visualization step. So now, hopefully, if thus far your audience seems convinced, you are not done yet. No, you are not finished yet, okay? You are in the visualization step. So through vivid imagery, help the audience see how your plan will benefit them, okay? You can contrast vividly the negative and positive visualization will be very helpful. Negative first, then positive last. You try to paint an image, not literally, but you need to, you try to let them imagine that what will happen if you don't do this, if you don't follow the solution, and then you move into the positive one if you do follow the solution. So you need to show them the what will happen in the future. And then finally, inside the action step, you summarize briefly the previous 4 psychological steps. You already have the attention, and then you have the need, and then you have the solution or the satisfaction, and then you have the visualization. So you summarize briefly on each step, and then you challenge or appeal to your audience to take specific actions that you give them to achieve your proposal. Means that you want them to move, to do action, to do something about this, okay? And then close with strong relevant quotation or illustration compelling your auditors to take immediate action. Something that is strong, that is that will make them remember what you said, will be very helpful in what we say, asking them to take action, okay? So this is an example of a persuasive speech making a difference through the Special Olympics. So this is a speech on question of policy seeking immediate action. So this is the speech. So the specific purpose is to persuade the audience to volunteer for the Special Olympics. Okay. The central idea, volunteering for the Special Olympics supports a worthy cause and is rewarding for athletes and volunteers alike. So that is the central idea. So whatever you mention will be based on that. Okay. And then the method of organization, of course, Monroe's motivated sequence. So this is a video sample that will be provided with the slides for you. So you don't have to worry about that. And yes, that's it. So we have learned through Monroe's motivated sequence all the 5 steps. What is it about? We have the attention, we have the need, we have the satisfaction, we have the visualization, and we have the action. So I hope that it will be able to help you understand better about Monroe's motivated sequence, which will undoubtedly, that will help you with your persuasive speech. So thank you very much for listening to me. My name is Shazad. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.